So Mesut Ozil has made another statement. What do we make of it? Hello, I'm Richard. Welcome back to my channel over and over and over again, which features everything to do with Arsenal. Now, in this video, I just want to look on this latest Mesut Ozil statement, of course, about his omission from the Premier League squad. Just go over that really and what we think it means. Just before I do, I just want to make sure you are subscribing to my channel. If you like what I do, please click the subscribe button. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up as well. And if you've got any comments at all about the whole Mesut Ozil carry on, please drop them in the comments box as well below, because it is great to hear from you guys as well. So then, this Mesut Ozil statement, I'm assuming that most of you have probably seen it already, but I'll just quickly read it out for those that haven't. This is what he says. He's put it on social media, on Twitter and on Facebook. It says, "This is a difficult message to write to the Arsenal fans that I have played for over the last few years. I'm really deeply disappointed by the fact that I have not been registered for the Premier League season for the time being. Upon signing my new contract in 2018, I pledged my loyalty and allegiance to the club that I love, Arsenal, and it saddens me that this has not been reciprocated. As I've just found out, loyalty is hard to come by nowadays. I've always tried to remain positive from week to week, and there's maybe a chance to get back in the squad again soon. So that's why I've kept silent so far. Before the coronavirus break, I was really happy with the development under our new coach, Mikel Arteta. We've been on a positive way, and I would say my performances were on a really good level. But then things changed again, and I was no longer allowed to play football for Arsenal. What else can I say? London still feels like home. I still have many good friends in this team, and I feel a strong connection with the fans of this club. No matter what, I will keep fighting for my chance and not let my 8th season at Arsenal end like this. I can promise you that this hard decision won't change anything in my mindset. I will continue to train as best as I can, and wherever possible, use my voice against inhumanity and for justice." So I think it's quite clear from that statement there that it's not really to do with football, is it? It seems like there's obviously it's a political decision that the club have taken to omit him from the squad. It's difficult to really know all the reasons behind it all. We're not involved in what goes on behind the scenes at the club, so we don't know. But it's quite clear to me that it's not been ever a footballing decision. We've been a team, certainly since lockdown, actually, that's lacked serious creativity in the midfield area of the team. And there'd been several games where Mesut Ozil would potentially have made a big difference. I'm not saying he should start necessarily every game, but certainly having him on the bench to come on in games that maybe we were struggling would have made sense, wouldn't it? And I'm sure from a footballing point of view, that would have happened. The fact that he has not been featured at all, has he, even in the matchday squad since I believe that game at Southampton back in June. It just goes to show that for me, it's got nothing to do with football or his performances or anything to do with that. It's something completely separate, whether he's been a bad influence in the dressing room or whether it's to do with his political views and stuff like that. We don't know, do we? But I just feel the whole situation has just been an embarrassment to the club. The way this has gone on and on for months now. What's it, 7, 8 months, isn't it, since he last played football for the first team in that game against West Ham in March. And it's been dragging on and dragging on. I mean, the club should have come out and clarified this situation a long time ago and drawn a line under it, but they've let it drag on. Mesut Ozil keeps making different statements on social media about various things. Of course, there was a Gunnersaurus situation, wasn't there, a few weeks ago, where he offered to pay the wages of the guy, Jerry, of course, plays Gunnersaurus, when he was made redundant, and lots of stuff's been going on behind the scenes. And the whole situation, as I say, I think it's caused a lot of embarrassment to the club, and this doesn't really help. I think the club should have come out with a statement themselves a long time ago, maybe before the start of the season, and said, you know, Mesut Ozil is not going to be in the squad. He's not going to play. He's not going to be registered with the Premier League squad. And then I think everybody would have known, maybe give their reasons as well. If it's political and they don't want to go into it, just say that. You know, if it's to do with his playing, with his attitude, say that. But to just leave it like this, it's not the way a club like Arsenal should be carrying on. You know, Arsenal have got values that they've always had as a club. And I just feel as though on this particular occasion, they've let them slip. And I find it embarrassing, actually, the way that they've handled all of this. My personal feelings on Mesut Ozil is I still feel as though he's a player that could contribute positively to the team in certain matches. I'm not saying he should play every week, but certainly there's games, you know, even this season, the 2 home games in particular, we were crying out for somebody who could break the lines and open up a mass defence, and he would have been able to potentially do that. You know, the fact that the club tried to sign Hassan Mawar to add creativity to the midfield, you know, suggests that there's obviously Arteta wants that creativity there. He wants a creative player there. You know, he's got one that he's clearly not being able to play for whatever reason it is, which I say I don't believe it's a football decision. I don't think it can be, because if it was, then he would have been included in certainly some of these squads, certainly this season, and he certainly would have been involved in the Europa League and the Carabao Cup, wouldn't he? I would imagine. So the whole thing's crazy now. The situation needs to be sorted out. See, Mesut Ozil mentions loyalty there, and it's true. You know, many other players have failed to sign a contract extension with Arsenal, and they've left, and they've been really heavily criticised, haven't they? Robin van Persie, of course, springs to mind. Samir Nasri, Alexis Sanchez, just to name a few. And Mesut Ozil, he did sign his contract. Yes, and people will say, well, of course he would for that money. But ultimately, he did prove his loyalty to the club. I don't know. I just feel as though it's been handled really badly by the club, and it needs to be sorted out. At the moment, it seems as though they're just going to allow Mesut Ozil's situation to drift along until the end of the season when his contract expires, and it's just creating more and more problems the longer it goes on. That's unnecessary. I think it's clear he's played his last game for Arsenal, which was that game against West Ham, and the situation now needs to be sorted out. Personally, I would prefer if he left the club. As much as I still admire him as a player, and as much as I still think he can contribute, he's clearly not going to play for us, is he, even in January? The best thing is if he buys out his contract, or the club pay it up, or whatever they do, just to get him out of the club. I don't feel as though that's what's needed now. All this dragging on, you know. I've been saying for a while that I didn't want to have to do any more videos on Mesut Ozil, but unfortunately, while this situation is still there, it's going to keep cropping up, and it is going to take up a lot of our time, isn't it? And a lot of our energies, which really should be spent elsewhere on more important things. So that's it. Let me know what you think about the whole situation. It's ridiculous now, isn't it, really, that it's dragging on this long, and it's still not really been resolved now. I say I wish Mesut Ozil all the best. I've always admired him as a player, and I think he's been a great servant to Arsenal actually over the years, contributed to successes that we've had in the FA Cup in particular. So the situation now needs to be, a line needs to be drawn under it, and I think the club needs to act now. They need to come out with a statement, let everybody know exactly what's going on, what's happening, and get it sorted out. And if it means, I say, paying up his contract or whatever it is, get him out of the club so we can just move away from all this. And hopefully this will end up being it'll probably end up being a penultimate video on Mesut Ozil, because I'm assuming that when he finally leaves the club, whenever that is, I will probably have to do a video on that as well. So that's that there today. I hope you enjoyed that video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And I say, please leave your comments about Mesut Ozil as well, because he does seem to divide opinion a lot, doesn't he? A lot of fans either really support him and back him and want him in the team all the time, and there's a lot of others who keep giving him abuse and want him straight out the door. So I may be somewhere in the middle, if I'm honest. I still do admire him. I like him as a guy. I think he does a lot of great work. As he said, there is humanitarian issues and injustice he likes to get involved in, and you've got to admire him for that, haven't you? So that's out there then. I say, please subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned. Obviously, coming up tomorrow is the game in the Europa League against Rapid Vienna. Ahead, of course, a big one on Sunday, the Premier League game at home to Leicester. I'll be putting a preview up of that probably Friday. So stay tuned to the channel for that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. And of course, in the meantime, as always, come on, you Gunners.